Why is ring culture so much more prevalent in the NBA than in other sports?
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it's discussed so much in our sport and why it's the A-all, B-all of everything.
But you have to really play hard. Does that hurt you physically?
No, because when I play hard all the time. You know, there's no turn it on here, turn it off here. It's just 110% all the time.
Yeah, I'm 10, 12 years in. I got 4 MVPs and 4 championships. Like, but do I still want to do this shit? You know what I'm saying?
You know how hard it is.
Some people say, I want to go play baseball.
You know, it's all about winning championships and winning.
And it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
You know, the fans are there to watch me play. I want to impress that guy way up on top who probably worked his ass off to get a ticket or to get money to buy the ticket.
You really cared about the guy who sat in the top deck at the Palace in Auburn Hills to watch you when you came to Detroit?
Yeah, because I know he's probably yelling at me and I want to shut him up. So if the guys are coming to watch me play, I don't want to miss that opportunity. Now, physically, if I can't do it, then I can't do it. But physically, if I can do it, and I just don't feel like doing it, that's a whole different lens.
NBA legends just broke their silence, and they're not holding back anymore. Magic Johnson, Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, and Michael Jordan's former teammates are going off on Kevin Durant and LeBron James. For years, these icons stayed quiet as the NBA drifted away from what it used to be. They watched the showboating, the social media antics, the obsession with brands over basketball, but they stayed respectful. Until now.
If you're gonna make $50, $60 million a year and just say, hey, you know what? I'm only gonna play 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4. At some point, the fan gonna be saying, wait a minute, you're charging me this much for tickets.
Because LeBron and Durant finally crossed a line they can't walk back from. They went on a podcast and laughed at Michael Jordan's legacy, mocked the man who defined greatness itself. That's when the old guard said, enough. This isn't just criticism anymore. This is demolition. These legends are tearing down everything fake about today's so-called kings. The ego, the insecurity, the hollow showmanship. Stacey King, who won 3 titles beside Jordan, didn't bite his tongue. When he heard LeBron and KD joking about Jordan's baseball break, he went nuclear. King even renamed LeBron's show the Cry Me a River podcast, blasting them for constantly begging for validation. He said it plain and sharp. Great players don't have to tell people they're great. That one line hit like a punch to the gut. He reminded everyone that Jordan never needed a podcast, never needed to argue his case. His game, his rings, his legacy did the talking. Meanwhile, these two can't stop talking about themselves. And King wasn't done there. He called them out directly, saying they're too busy crying and moaning about what fans think instead of letting their performance speak for itself. King then pointed out the biggest joke of all, LeBron and KD bragging about longevity and commitment. Durant's been in the league nearly 20 years and only played every single game 3 times. LeBron, just once in 2 decades. Yet they sit on podcasts acting like they invented dedication. How are you preaching longevity when you're skipping games just because you don't feel like it? And when it comes to leading teams, Durant's record speaks loud. He left Golden State to prove he could win on his own. Brooklyn was supposed to be his redemption story. Failure. Phoenix was supposed to be the fix. Another collapse, another trade request. King said it clear. Durant hasn't proved he can win without Steph Curry. All those years, all that talent, and nothing to show when it's his team on the line.
LeBron and KD and Steve Nash did their little podcast thing, and they always drag the legacy
What
of
is it called? Is it called? Was it Cry Me a River?
Cry Me a River, I think.
Cry Me a River podcast? Oh my God, I tell you what, man, listen. I was watching
Revisionist history, they should call it.
Yeah, you know what, Mark? Great players don't have to tell people they're great.
Yeah, it's true.
You let fans do that. You let people debate it on talk radio and podcasts. You know, players don't have to do that. You know, we all know you're great. You don't have to tell us. You know, when you have to go around trumpeting that you're great and what separates you from all the other people that makes you greater than them, that's a problem. You know, that's a problem. That's why I say it's a Cry Me a River podcast, because you're crying and moaning about what they said. And they were kind of sneak dissing MJ. If you really listen between the lines, you know, they were talking about, Kevin Durant was talking about how longevity is more important than rings and all that other stuff. Being in the league basically for 20 plus years shows the dedication and the hard work that you had to do to stay here. But he failed to mention, you know, the load management and This guy only playing in no more than 3 times in his career, 82 games in a season.
Yeah, right.
LeBron's only played 1 time 82 games in a season. MJ, 9 times in his career played 82 games, plus playoffs and championships that goes into 115 games. So to listen to these guys discredit the former players and how great they were to basically step on top of them to get themselves higher is really sad.
But sure, let's all laugh at Michael Jordan, the man whose name built the league. Even Magic Johnson, usually calm and diplomatic, couldn't stay quiet this time. Magic Johnson's usually the peacemaker, always finding something good to say about the next generation. But even he snapped this time. What Durant and LeBron did on that podcast confirmed everything Magic's been warning about. Today's NBA lost its edge. The fire's gone, replaced by smiles, business deals, and Instagram posts instead of real competition. Magic broke it down perfectly. When the Lakers and Celtics clashed, it was war. He and Larry Bird didn't fake it for the cameras. They hated each other in season, and that hate fueled greatness. Fans could feel it. He said, "I hated Larry and every Celtic. Now I love him because he's out of that green and white." That raw energy made people stop what they were doing to watch. But now, players dap each other up before tip-off, plan vacations together, post collabs on social media. There's no real rivalry left. And when LeBron and KD sit around joking about Jordan's legacy, it just proves Magic's point. These guys don't have that killer instinct. They care more about their image than about winning. Magic even linked it to the NBA's falling viewership, saying flat out, "That's why the numbers are going down." Fans can feel when players don't care, when it's all show and no heart. People are tired of paying crazy ticket prices just to watch their heroes treat games like practice sessions. Then came Charles Barkley, and he torched them. Barkley said this isn't just about a podcast. It's about an entire generation that's lost its hunger. He said players today care more about followers than finals, brand deals than banners. And he hit them with one brutal truth. If you're making $56 million a year and only playing 3 out of 4 games, why should the fans care if you don't? He's right. Fans drop hundreds for seats, rearrange their lives to see their idols, and then get told their favorite star's resting tonight. That's not leadership. That's entitlement. Barkley didn't stop there. He compared the NBA to baseball, saying basketball players get paid the most but work the least. 82 games versus 162 in MLB, yet they still complain about rest days. His point was simple and sharp. Durant and LeBron represent a soft era that mistakes longevity for greatness. And that mindset, he said, is slowly killing the game.
To have a long career, that's the goal. Be in the league for 20 years. That's the goal.
Garth Gilmore told me one time, he played for Chicago, he said, if you expect to play a long time in this league, you better quit mopping up the floor. And I thought, well, he's crazy because that's what basketball is all about.
Bird takes it away from Wilkins, goes to the floor and gets it. Gets it up ahead.
This rest stuff just drives me crazy. You're playing basketball for a living, okay? I understand if you're working in the coal mine that you may need a rest day after you're playing basketball.
Playing 20 years while team hopping and skipping games isn't greatness, it's marketing. Comparing that to Michael Jordan's 13 full seasons of pure dominance is straight up disrespectful. And that's exactly why fans are checking out. Shaquille O'Neal came in swinging with a different angle: toughness. Shaq said today's players are soft. Nobody wants contact, nobody wants the paint. They just float around the arc jacking up threes. He said, if you've got a skilled guy like me in the post, that's a high percentage shot. But now, he sees unskilled guys avoiding the paint because they don't like getting hit. That's the new problem. Players chasing highlights, not hardware. They want step backs and slow-mo clips instead of sweat and bruises. Shaq hit the nail on the head when he said analytics mean nothing in the playoffs, because when the pressure hits, it's not about stats, it's about heart. Adrenaline breaks numbers, grit breaks trends, and that's what separates real champions from stat patters. Jordan had that will. He played through pain, took hits every night, and never backed down. Durant and LeBron? Total opposite. Durant 7 feet tall but plays like a point guard scared of the post. He floats on the perimeter instead of using his size. LeBron's built like a tank, but he picks his moments, conserves energy, avoids the hardest defensive jobs. That's not killer instinct, that's survival mode. Shaq said it straight. That's not championship DNA. Then Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce jumped in and they torched modern training culture. Garnett said flat out, "These players think they're in shape until they meet guys who actually are." Back in his day, they practiced every day, full-speed contact, hours of 5-on-5 battles. That's how you built the gas tank to survive an 82-game grind and the playoffs. Now, players hit the gym for 30 minutes of half-speed drills with a personal trainer and call it work. Garnett broke it down with details. The basics, like calf raises, the kind of conditioning that builds explosion and prevents injuries, don't even exist anymore. He said today's stars skip the boring work, then wonder why they're always breaking down and load managing.
What's happened to the rivalries in today's game? Like, I mean, we
don't hate each other.
That's
they don't like. See, I hated Larry and every Celtic. I really don't like you, but you're my little brother. Now I love you because you out of that green and white. That's what it was, right? You the Celtics, Lakers hate each other, disliked each other. So it made for great TV and people tuning in. And now with, I don't know if it's AAU, I don't know what it is. Now everybody's shaking each other's hand. Everybody like each other, won't go at each other like really hard. Even that's what happened to the All-Star game, see?
Yeah.
See, the All-Star
into the All-Star game. Right there.
See, we hated the East.
Right.
I'm coming to bust you.
Right.
Michael, Isaiah, Dr. J. You can't have one over me. See, I'm coming to get that. Now,
let's see, Magic. This is what I said.
Let them score 200 to 200.
This is what I said.
Pierce doubled down, saying, guys used to play through things that would have today's players sitting for weeks. And here's where the hypocrisy burns the most. LeBron and KD preaching about longevity. Durant's played every single game only 3 times. LeBron's done it once in over 20 years. Michael Jordan, he played all 82 multiple times, heavy minutes, high intensity, no excuses. He showed up every night because he respected the game. And the fans. That's what real greatness looks like. The numbers don't lie. And this is where NBA legends completely shattered LeBron and Durant's whole argument. Between them, LeBron and KD have played a combined 39 seasons, nearly 3 times Jordan's career. Almost 40 years of basketball between 2 men who call themselves the greatest. And what do they have to show for it? Just 6 championships total, 5 regular season MVPs, 6 finals MVPs, and 5 scoring titles. That's it. Now look at Michael Jordan. 13 full seasons, 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs, 5 regular season MVPs, 10 scoring titles, and 9 all-defensive first-team selections. In 1/3 of the time, he accomplished more than both of them combined. That's not opinion, that's math. Twice half the results. Longevity without dominance means nothing. And here's where things turn from embarrassing to shameful. Durant and LeBron sat on that podcast laughing about Jordan's baseball retirement, acting like it was some joke. But they left out why he stepped away. Michael Jordan didn't retire in '93 because he was bored or burnt out. He stepped away because his father was murdered during a robbery that summer. His dad, James Jordan, was the man who believed in him first. The reason he ever picked up a basketball. Losing him broke Michael. After 3 straight titles at the peak of his power, he walked away to honor his father's dream, to play professional baseball, something they'd talked about together for years. It wasn't quitting. It was grief. It was love. It was a son trying to heal.
You have a guy making 75, 80, 90, God forbid, $100 million a year to play basketball. Right. And the guy says, I'm going to rest tonight. At some point, the fans going to be saying, hey, you know what? Yeah, I've had enough. If this dude don't care about me, and that's the one thing that concerns me going forward. Man, we're the luckiest dudes in the world to play basketball. We're the luckiest dudes in the world. If you look at sports landscape, nobody get paid better than basketball players. Nobody.
Kevin's a great player. I think that his legacy is complicated. I don't like any guys who join super teams. I'm biased against LeBron when it comes to comparing him to Michael, joining Dwayne and those guys. Because, when we had this debate, and LeBron's amazing and spectacular, but I was like, Michael didn't join anybody. He just kept getting his ass kicked and got bigger and got stronger and finally knocked the wall down. And, Kevin, who's a great player, other than the fact when he joined the Warriors, he hasn't been successful anywhere else. And I don't hold that against him, but he wants to be considered And that list, he's not on that list. He's not on that list. He's a great, great player, but he's not on that list. He wants to be like, wow, he's not in a GOAT conversation because you're not, plain and simple.
Damn.
You had great success when you joined the Warriors, but not only did you not have success, you actually flamed out in those other places. You got swept last year in the playoffs. You didn't even make the play-in this year.
So when Durant snickers, some people play baseball, and LeBron laughs like it's funny. That's not clever. That's disrespectful. They turned one of the deepest personal losses in sports history into a punchline, and NBA legends weren't about to let that slide because they understand what it means to sacrifice, to hurt, and to still perform at the highest level. And let's not forget the context. Jordan didn't retire after a failure. He didn't walk away after getting bounced in the first round or swept in the finals. He left right after 3 straight championships, a three-peat, something Magic Johnson never did, Larry Bird never did, and LeBron still hasn't. He did it while carrying a global spotlight and battling personal pain that would have broken most men, and still came back to do it again. Meanwhile, who's the one mocking him? Kevin Durant, the same guy who left OKC for the team that beat him, the same man who's run from every situation the second it got tough. The irony couldn't be louder. The man who quit on his own team is laughing at the man who never did. Kevin Durant made what's still called the softest move in NBA history. He joined the very team that beat him, a 73-win Golden State squad stacked with Steph, Klay, and Draymond. He didn't want to battle for greatness. He wanted shortcuts and easy rings. Instead of proving he could lead, he hid behind a dynasty already built for him. And it didn't stop there. After leaving Golden State, Durant bailed on Brooklyn the second things got tough, demanded a trade, left his teammates hanging, couldn't carry the load without a super team. Then Phoenix came along, and guess what? Same story. Another exit, another excuse, another failed run. This is the guy calling Michael Jordan a quitter? Please. KD spent his career team hopping like it's musical chairs, chasing comfort over challenge. Then there's LeBron. When Cleveland started cracking the first time, he didn't grind through it. He left, took his talents to South Beach, joined Wade and Bosch to chase an easier road. When the Heat started slipping, he ran back to Cleveland. When that fell apart after Kyrie left, he packed up again for LA. Every time the pressure built, LeBron found a new zip code. So when these two sit there mocking Jordan for walking away after 3 straight titles and his father's passing, legends saw right through it. It's not just tone deaf, it's a total lack of respect and self-awareness. This whole thing exposed what the old heads have been warning about, a broken culture in today's NBA. Players don't honor the grind anymore. They don't respect the foundation the legends built. Magic Johnson said it best. His generation had to earn everything. The fame, the money, the endorsements, all came after they proved themselves. Now, players get max contracts before they even play a full season. Rookie shoe deals, personal media shows, followers by the millions, all before they've done anything. And that's exactly why the hunger's gone. Jordan, Magic, Bird, they fought for greatness before they cashed in. Durant and LeBron flipped the script. They got rich first and tried to prove it later. That's why they need podcasts to remind the world how great they are. Because deep down, they know the truth. Longevity isn't greatness, and staying around isn't the same as dominating. They know deep down that playing 20 years while load managing and jumping teams will never compare to 13 seasons of total dominance. And that's the truth that burns the most. Instead of accepting it, they try to rewrite history, turning longevity into some kind of new definition of greatness, like showing up longer somehow means more than winning.
Like you mentioned a little bit about today's game, because we had Club on here and he talked about load management. He said, I don't know what the hell that is. Where is it going? And that's number one. And number two, how do we get it back?
Even for me, I love the NBA game, but then I turn on to a game, right? And then the stars are not playing because of load management. It's hurting the game.
But NBA legends aren't letting that slide. Michael Jordan's approach was simple. He didn't chase years, he chased perfection. Every season was war. Every night was a mission. He didn't play to survive. He played to dominate. Jordan's goal wasn't to make it 20 seasons. It was to be the best player alive every single time he touched the court. He even said it himself, if I burn out, I burn out. That means my career's short and I'll go play golf somewhere. He didn't care about numbers or records. He cared about winning. That's what made him unstoppable. And that's exactly why his legacy is untouchable even now, decades later. That's why when the NBA wanted to restore the league's image, they didn't call LeBron. They called Michael Jordan. His name still carries more power than any player in today's game because Jordan doesn't have to talk. His resume screams for him. 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs, 5 regular season MVPs, 10 scoring titles, 9 all-defensive first teams, a perfect finals record, no excuses, no shortcuts, no asterisks. That's the real response to all this podcast nonsense. He doesn't need a mic to defend himself. His game already did that. Jordan's dominance is the loudest answer to LeBron and Durant's disrespect. And NBA legends are saying it plain. You don't get to rewrite history. You don't get to mock the pain and sacrifice of the greatest player alive just because you feel insecure about your own legacy. Longevity doesn't equal greatness. Staying in the league doesn't make you a king. Dominating it does. And if you don't respect the game and those who built it, you'll end up exactly where Durant and LeBron are right now, getting exposed. Social media exploded once the legends spoke up. Fans lit up every comment section. One post hit hard. Some people lose their father and go play baseball to honor him. Some people join a 73-win team, make burner accounts, and still never lead one to a title. Another said, he stopped mid-three-peat, came back, and dominated again. They can't even dream of matching that. Durant tried clapping back on Twitter, wrote, I'll say MJ retired twice every day for the rest of my life. What are you gonna do about it? But that only made it worse. Every time he brings it up, fans remind him of the real story, the loss, the pain, the comeback, and how he's nothing like that. They remind him he's been team hopping ever since leaving Steph, load managing while calling others soft, and acting like the victim online. And that's the thing. Every time KD or LeBron talk, the hypocrisy gets louder. It's obvious they're trying to drag others down because they know they'll never reach that level themselves. Jordan never did that. Kobe never did that. They respected the ones who came before them. They didn't gossip on podcasts. They let their rings do the talking. The message from NBA legends is clear. Respect the history, respect the grind, respect the game. Because greatness recognizes greatness, and when you don't have it, everybody can tell. No podcast can fix it, no longevity can fake it, and no amount of load management can hide it. You either dominate or you don't. You either show up or you don't. You either win or you fade. And right now, Durant and LeBron just got exposed for not measuring up to the standard Michael Jordan set. If you think the legends were right to call this out, hit that like button. Drop a comment if you're tired of modern players trying to rewrite history. And don't forget to subscribe, because this conversation is far from over.